Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Nassr World. I'm Habs Mahapi. Al-Nassr news, latest news and transfers. Of course, there's a breaking news on Angelo, but before then, Riyadh, it seems like the small Riyadh derby is going to be at Al-Awwal Park. And there's a thing on Al-Qadsiya, but of course, we'll start. But before I continue, and don't forget to put your comments. I want to hear your thought. But do you think, and if, do you think we have to sign a right back now or a midfielder if we have to sign a player? And then let's go straight to this issue of Al-Awwal Park, because we're going to play at Al-Awwal Park tomorrow. If I we are sharing the stadium with this team, Al-Riyadh. So we're going to be at Al-Awwal Park against Al-Riyadh, and after that on Friday, this game was supposed to be held at Prince Al Faisali bin Fahd Stadium. So they've moved this thing to Al-Awwal Park. But of course, it's still going to be a home ground. They will turn as a home ground to Al-Riyadh. Al-Riyadh, they will have more fans on that stadium, but it's our stadium. We have to be comfortable there and to win. Just like tomorrow, we need to be comfortable on that game of Al-Riyadh. Go and look at the preview of that game. We've released it around 2 a.m. today in the morning early. And of course, I will link it into this video. If you want that link, it's going to be easy for you. Just go into the description of the video and you'll find it there. I will link it on this video. The management of Al-Nassr and Al-Riyadh, they have agreed to move this game of Al-Riyadh and Al-Nassr, which is the second game or the second round of the season, to Al-Awwal Park. It was supposed to be held at Prince Faisali bin Fahd Stadium. So they're going to move this game into into Al-Awwal Park between Riyadh and Al-Nassr, which of course you expect us to be welcoming of Al-Riyadh. This is going to be the second game. We need to collect another 3 points here. I wonder, is this under construction, this stadium of Al-Riyadh? Maybe is this under construction? Because I think last 2 years back it was Al Fayya Stadium. I think it is under construction because, of course, they have to, the improvement on stadiums due to the World Cup 2034. And of course, you start now, 4 years is nothing. It's almost now left 7 years, you can say, because you are not going to count 2034. So it's now until 2033 clearly. And then of course, for the development of, and I want to say something. I will, on the president of FIFA, I will say it at the end of this video. I want to put my thoughts on some of the things there. Talking about the World Cup, it reminds me of something, so I want to just put my say there. And now there's a story on Al-Qadsiya. They said a big player will be signed. They need a shift between that player to Al-Qadsiya, the deal between Al-Nassr and that player, the signing of the century. They are talking as if it's going to be Cristiano. It's not going to be Cristiano. It's not going to be Joao. It's not going to be Kingsley Coman. So we are left with money. We are left with money. But I don't, the source of this story, I don't trust the source of this story before we continue with this thing. I don't trust the source of the story. So I will see. I will see, because I don't think, can it be Angelo? It can't be Angelo. Can it be Mohamed Simakan? I don't think Mohamed Simakan can move from Al Nassr to Al Qadsiya. Um, can it be Bento? I don't think so. So you are left with money there. I don't think money will want to leave, unless if maybe, I don't know, Mane played 90 minutes, man. There's no way Mane is leaving. After playing 90 minutes, there's no way Mane is leaving, man. It's not going anywhere. Unless if that is going to be one of our Saudi Arabian player. And who's that player? Abdul Rahman Harib. So it's not going to be a swap deal, because he's a free agent as we speak now, unless we go into and then we sell him. Abdullah Al-Amri, the person whom they said is a little bit confused about the whole issue is Nawaf Bushal. So is it going to be Nawaf Bushal? I don't think it's going to be Bushal. Bushal started, played 90 minutes, and it seems like coach is going to rely on Bushal. So it's clear Bushal is going to be a reliance on Ange Postecoglou, including Mane. So Mane, Bushal, they played 90 minutes. So I don't think it's anything to do with both Mane and Bushal. And now you are left with Abdullah Al-Amri. Come on, Al-Amri, he's going to be part of that back four. It's clear. Where we are now, after the injury of Saad Al-Nassr, is going to be part of that defense line, just like last season. So it's gonna be there. So you are left by who? With who? Is it going to be Angelo? Is it going to be, because it must be at least a player who is not sure if he's going to get game time during this season of 2026-2027. But already Angelo is going to be a rotation, and I think the coach relied on him. But I said Angelo is an investment. I'm not surprised now Borussia Dortmund is now monitoring Angelo. They said 30 million euros. I don't think Angelo must leave with 30 million euros, please. Please. Please, 30 million. Angelo. Of course, 2 years back, maybe. The end of last season and the beginning of this game of Al Fateh, Angelo worth over 35 million euros easily. Easily. So I don't think Angelo worth that 30 million euros. I don't think so. I think he's above that amount of money. It's a good investment. It's going to be a good investment to Al Nassr. This thing is going to cost everyone, this thing of 8 foreign players. I don't know who's managing this thing. I'm not going to agree. And I hope the management of the officials of the Saudi Football Federation, they can look at this thing. I'm saying, look at the past 4 games, three World Cups, starting from 2018, 2022, and 2026. Look there. The semi-finalists of those 3 World Cups. It was Belgium 2018, Croatia, England, and France. Let's leave Argentina out. Let's leave, it was Belgium, Croatia, okay, France, England. Look at them. The restriction of players in their countries. So it doesn't, you know, to minimize this number doesn't automatically guarantee the performance of the national team. Actually, it even boosted, because now the players will know, in order for me to perform, to go and play for Al-Nassr, Al-Hilal, Al-Ittihad, Al-Ahli, I don't have to be a 60. I have to be an 80% player who can be featured anywhere to go and play for these 4 teams or 3 teams. You can say 4. All right. And that automatically, it gives you the participation, the competition. So I still believe that they need to add this number, because of the only thing we are losing Angelo here is when Angelo looks at this thing and say, I'm just going to, if they promise Angelo, you're going to play. And we are saying to Angelo, you'll rotate. You'll play in this game, in that game. Angelo is looking at Brazil. He says, I want to be called in the national squad. And if you don't give me game time, if I'm not guaranteed that I'm going to play, then that's going to be a problem. And now you will have to allow Angelo to leave. I don't think it's going to work. But let me just open it. Don't worry, tomorrow we are going to do the watch along of Al-Daria and Al-Nassr, the Kings Cup. So Dortmund plans to sign Angelo from Al-Nassr. Borussia Dortmund is keeping their eye on Brazilian star, a player of Al-Nassr, Angelo Gabriel. That's it. So, of course, because they want to strengthen their attacking line. So, but now when it goes down, it says Borussia Dortmund comes at the time where Angelo is enjoying the game time from his new coach, Ange Postecoglou, who shows because I'm saying is going to, who shows the confidence on the star. So I'm saying he wants, there's no way he started Angelo on the previous 3 matches of his preseason. And he started Angelo. And Angelo played, I think, 90 minutes against Al Fatah. So, please. But the problem is one. If Angelo is going to, tomorrow we're going to play everyone because it's a Kings Cup. The decision which they took is not to restrict. So there's no restriction in the Kings Cup, just like AFC Champions League Elite. We're going to play 10, all of our players in that game, in that competition tomorrow. Therefore, If Cristiano is going to be part of it, Angelo can be part of it, Sam will be part of it, all of them, they're going to be part of that game, including Bendo. Everyone can be part of it. But I put a preview. I think some of we have to rest Inigo based on how many games we're going to play from starting from tomorrow until Friday. You can say, I mean, it's going to be almost a game after 2 days, game after 2 days, game after 2 days. We're going to play Al Daria after to skip 2 days. We're going to play Al Riyadh, skip 2 days, Al Etifak, skip 2 days, Al Tawoun, and then you skip maybe I think 3 days, 4 days, and then you're going to play against Al Etihad. So I looking at this, it's gonna be such a short period of time between these games. The space in between these games are so slim. So now you have to look at this thing and think we have to rest some couple of players. Inigo, I think you must rest Inigo. You must look at if you can rest Bento. But I don't trust Al Otaibi now. That is why my wish was to play if it's not going anywhere in our Falakedi. We are playing our Falakedi in that position. I think it's going to work that way. We are playing now Falakedi. Hmm. Now the problem is this one. Hmm. Even if the management of Al-Nassr insist on on Angelo to leave, but the management, you're talking about the director of football, financial management, of course, the CEO. It seems like they are ready to allow Angelo to leave. Mm. We spoke about it's not Mustafa. It's not Mustafa yesterday. I think it's gonna be a problem for so I want to see. We spoke with someone. I don't think it was Mustafa. I think it was uh, oh Almua. Almua. So he asked me yesterday who if there's any player which I can replace. Who's that player? And I said it's gonna be Angelo because I don't think we can. We are so. I said maybe it's gonna be Angelo. So let's face it. Angelo, the only way we are keeping Angelo is when we are promising him if really Borussia Dortmund will come um, to want to buy Angelo and they are coming strong. I don't see how we're going to keep Angelo because if they promise Angelo to play, I'm telling you, there's nothing because Angelo will look at this thing and say, am I going to play?" And if you are saying you are not going to be able to play every game in the Saudi Pro League, but you'll be playing every game in the Kings Cup and the AFC Champions League A League, he might look at this thing and wondering, what if we are knocked out of the Kings Cup? And what if we are not playing well in the AFC Champions League A League? What if? And then he might look at this thing and think, but then even if we are playing well, after February is done with all of these league games, so it's now the knockout stages, which those knockout stages of the AFC Champions League A League again, it's just it's gonna be a round of 16, round of 8, round of 4, and the last two games. But those things you are playing on around 1 week in April. So in April, or it can be in April, it can be the 1st of May. It doesn't matter, of course. Saudi, they're going to host it this year again, I think so. Last season, was it in Saudi? Or was it inside the country or was it outside the country? The Kings Cup was in United Arab Emirates. I think it was in Saudi. It was in Saudi again before then. So it will be hosted again in Saudi, the Kings Cup. So you might look at this thing and think it's only 4 games because you might play 8 games, the first 1, 2, 3, 8 games. But after those 8 games, you are left only with 4 games. And you are not even guaranteed on those 4 games that you are going to play. Because again, the coach must rely on his best 11 to qualify. So, in all fairness, if Angelo is older now to be a senior player, it's going to hinder, this thing is a hindering to him. So I'll look at this thing and I think we might lose him. If really this link of Borussia Dortmund is is real, if really it's real, this thing, really, it might happen that we're going to lose him. I think with Angelo, the squad depth, with Angelo, you have a better lineup, but your bench, because you can have Yaya in the or Al Kaibari, but you can still have Angelo. And then when you go and play the Kings Cup, you'll have Samu Costa, Angelo, Al Kaibari, or Angelo Yaya. You are better with Angelo. And now on this pace, Angelo, this form, because his own form is just like Joao Felix. I don't think we have to move him. I don't think so. I understand maybe the management wants to move him but I don't think it must be a clear agreement. Unless if Angelo wants to leave, but if Angelo don't want to leave, he wants to stay, I think the sale of Angelo, it must not happen. of that Al Qadsiya, please. We will wait for it. We'll see the bigger player, the transfer of the century. We'll wait for that transfer of the century. It's not going to be Cristiano. So we want to see and I don't. It's not going to be the next three players or four players. No, it's not going to be four players. So I don't think it's gonna be anyone between, and I don't think it can be Nawaf Al-Akidi. It can be, but I don't think so. I don't think so. So let me just do this. Let me. So I don't believe that it's gonna be anyone, but I think maybe it might be between Al Harib and Nawaf Al-Akidi, and then and then because I don't think it's gonna be money. It's so shocking. All these links after we have played so well. Now already there's so much links. One of those is Borussia Dortmund. Al Qadsiya is going for a player at Al Nassr, Abu Shal. Before then, they said he will leave. Abdullah Al Amri, I think they said either Al Ittihad or one team is coming for him. It's so shocking why they are all of a sudden these teams, these things, this news, this after we have played so well. I think this season, when you look, it's going to be us and against the media most of the time, because this season they've realized after that game, but before that game they were undermining this thing. But of course, the team most of the time after they win the Premier League, they either go in position two or they repeat, but they win the domestic trophy. So it can be easy that we win the Kings Cup, you lose the Saudi League. But after we played the against Al Fateh, I think they have realized how big and how strong Al Nassr is compared to everyone, and you understand that they will go. It seems like it's going to be Al Nassr against everyone, against the media this season. They will come with all the sort of stories. They will come with this thing. This one wants to leave. This one wants to go. This one don't want to stay. This one is not happy. This one. I mean, they started somewhere with Al Akidi. They said Al Akidi, Al Fateh. They said the it's just close. And then while you are looking that Al-Akidi will leave at any time, then they move from that story of Al-Akidi will leave to something else. And something else is when they said now is Al Nassr is they want to move Bushal. And these are two stories. You're saying Al Fateh Al-Akidi wants to leave. Al-Nassr, Al-Fateh is going for him. And then you go from that to Al-Nassr. Now they are looking for a team which can loan Al-Akidis 2 stories. One of it can be true, but they can't both be right. Either both of those stories were just lies, or one of the story is true. Was true by that time, of course. So you understand that so I'm looking at this that way, and I'm just hoping that no one is going to leave. We'll keep all of our players, and then we'll continue this season to win everything, because keeping our players, I said it last season, when everyone said Al Hilal is buying this one is getting this one is getting this one. I said we are fine, because we have our players, all of our players, we have them. We only moved the players which we moved last season. We have moved those players. Only one, Haruna Kamara here, and we moved him, of course. So we already moved Wesley and John Duran, which we at any time still going to move them. So we moved those which we are supposed to move, and we kept those which we are supposed to keep. So that thing tells you that we're going to, for a win for us, I mean, a real competition to the league and the AFC champions is going to be real, because we still have those players which we kept last season easily. So let me go into the story which I wanted to close with, and one of I saw something, and it's with the president of FIFA, Infantino. Europe, they want to ounce him. They want to remove him from his throne. They just want to throw him out of his throne. When you look the management of uh, Infantino in this the past World Cup, I mean, come on, everyone, you can say you want him to leave. He must leave, actually. And Europe, and that joined by the South America, I think so, the North America. I'm not clear if CONMEBOL. I think CONMEBOL we is not going to. I'm not sure if they're going to support or not support him. But it's easy that most countries in CONMEBOL, they are not going to support him, right? It might be Argentina, maybe. I don't know if maybe they're just going to think twice about it. But is Uruguay and Paraguay going to not to support him? I don't know. But here is my problem is the people who wants to take him out. The idea of taking him down, I think it's a correct idea, but the problem here is the people who wants to take him out. I think when you look the problem who wants him out, you are not sure if is where you're going to put the phrase says the enemy, the devil you know is better than one you don't know. Is better than the one you don't know. So here, when you look, the people who wants to oust him is the people firstly who don't want. I mean, let's look at this thing. I think FIFA must look this thing deep, and I understand why the CAF supports this president and Morocco, of course. Then you can say Morocco, CAF, and everyone, and then AFC. I think they are behind him, which is the Asian Football Federation, Confederation of AFC football, right? They are supporting him, and then CAF, which is the Confederation of African Football, they support him. Of course, Egypt already said we support him. The Morocco, we support him, and you expect Algeria, and everyone will then support him. And I understand why. And then they are supporting him over Europe, which Europe wants him to leave. But when you look, the people who wants him to leave, and I'm just saying, look at this thing. The World Cup, the World Cup was started in 1930. Since 1930 until now, it was hosted in Africa once. Since 1930, once in Africa and twice in Asia, two biggest continents in the world. Once in one of the continent and twice in the other continent. What? Come, in 54 countries, it was hosted once. So the people who are saying they take over now, are they going to? Do you think we're still going to see the World Cup coming the side of Europe, of Africa, Asia? Like it went to Qatar, went to United States of America, and now went to Africa and Europe, now going back to Asia. And even if we look at this thing, even if it goes to Africa, Africa is sharing it with two countries from Europe. Not only that, again with two countries from South America. South America hosted this thing in 2014. 2014. But it goes there. Africa once since 1930. It was hosted in Mexico, hosted in Uruguay, hosted in Paraguay, hosted everywhere. Was it in Paraguay? I think Argentina, USA. But in Africa, hosted once. So that is why I'm saying this thing itself, you are not going to be sure. You'll be conflicted. You want this president to leave. I mean, look what they did with Iran. You will want him to leave, but I think after that, then you look at this thing and ask yourself, the people who will come in these positions, it's gonna be in Zurich. After Zurich, it's going to go to Dublin. After they're going to move it to Berlin, and after they're going to move it to London. It's gonna be around. You don't know. You don't know, but you can ask yourself, because every time when the World Cup is not on the side of West, they complain, man. I mean, Qatar, they complain. We didn't, hear the end of the story. I mean, they complain. The human rights, they complain. But in USA, daylight, discrimination everywhere. No one said anything about it. So you are not going to be sure about that. So I understand the support of AFC of um, AFC, CAF, and other countries already declaring the support. I think Qatari are even questioning the open letter from Europe on this president. I'm saying as we are Asia and Africa, I think we are in between the rock and the hard plate. We either choose him to leave, and then we then wait for another guy who's coming from the side of Europe, and he will decide everything. We must never go to the side of East, or we stand with him, but I think we'll stuck in between. But I think he uh, up to so far there's enough support for him. That is why I saw the move now. It's no longer about him leaving. They are asking FIFA to request him to step down, not to contest, because I think he's just easily going to win that. I mean, if you got Asia and Africa on your side, you can easily win the presidency. I think so. So, mm. But uh, so I'm not going to say anything except that I just said in the statement. Uh, I think I will leave. I will leave, but I just want to confirm if there's any. Um, the only thing which can make me stay is the comments. Um, let's hope Angelo is not going to leave, man. But I'm telling you, if Borussia Dortmund I mean, promises Angelo game time, I think he will leave. There's no way we are not going to be able to give Angelo enough games next season, because look, when you put Samu Costa there, automatically you are removing Angelo. Automatically you are removing Angelo. Unless anyone tells me that Angelo is still a young under 20 and Angelo is not 20, or maybe they still regard Angelo as a young player, unless if anyone tells me that. But if not, if Angelo is a senior player, Angelo is going to rotate. And I don't think Angelo will accept to rotate this season. I think he will still wants to play the game. He will still wants to be part of this, contribute to this. So you see, so if the team like Borussia Dortmund comes and knock, you look at this thing. But I don't think he can agree so easily. I think he can still stay. My hope is for, but now when the news comes out and says even the management wants him. And I'm sorry, that story comes from sy.com, of course, and then breaks by, I think sy.com, they are taking it, but now for now is the source is sy.com. And the another story was broken by goal.com of that Al-Qadsiya. And then of that, the Riyadh is coming from sy.com too. So you look at that thing and you think, if the rumor says, the media says even the management are considering to allow Angelo to leave, then you can see that we might lose him. But I'm still saying, I believe there will be a little bit of a take on this player is gonna leave, this player is gonna stay, this player is gonna leave, this one is going to leave. And then after the end of all these transfers, just we are on the transfers, it will end around the 6th. So it's still going to end, and then we'll wait. After the 6th of September, they will move from there. Now they will move from this one wants to leave. They will now go to who's happy inside the dressing room. Now Avalakini is not happy. Angelo is not happy. This one is not happy. This wants to leave. This wants to leave until, this is why I said on the previous video, Ange needs to win most of his games until now they leave the rumors and go and concentrate somewhere, because they will just want to defocus these players into something else. Because this, it seems like we're going to play against the media. It's gonna be 17 teams, including the media, 18 teams, including the media this season. I mean, look at these titles. It's like already Al Hilal is going to win this. Already, before we start the games last week, right? So you understand. It's not going to be. It's going to be 18 teams this season against Al-Nassr. So we have to focus and try to. Ange need to focus. Lock in, man. Okay. I think I think I'm leaving this here, and then we see each other. I think we're going to see each other tomorrow. Unless if that story of Angelo can be a breaking news at any time and says they have moved in now, the deal, the offer is on the table. Unless if they can say the offer is on the table, then immediately I will go live either or in the morning, just early in the morning around 4 maybe or 5 o'clock, depending. But up to so far, So I'm just going to leave um, and see each other. Uh, Tomorrow, guys. Let me just open the story and see if the story is close of Angelo. If it's close, oh, let me see the results on Al Hilal. Al Hilal is playing the Kings Cup today. Al Ahly somewhere was winning 1-0 away, of course. Let me see. I want to see if Al Hilal is winning 1-0. So let me see if the story of Angelo is. Like that story is I want to see the story of Angelo if maybe what is the update on Al Sad Al Nasser? Where is that update on Sad Al Nasser? Guys, I don't think there's any. I don't think there's any. I don't think there's any. I don't want to leave, and after 2 minutes, there's I'm back to report about this thing. because for me it's a shocking story that it might happen that Angelo will leave. I say financial waste and chaos. What? Financial waste and chaos at Al Hilal. Um, Look, I don't agree with some couple of things which the decisions which were taken between 2023, end of 2023, I think, no, 2023. I think it was a right decision to sign Neymar. I think it was a wrong decision now to cancel his contract. Um, and then you'll understand of Neymar that he was, injuries with a Neymar, man. But my problem is one, he was playing at PSG. He was always injured, but he was always playing. So, and another thing, and then now on Darwin Nunes, that one, I disagree with that one. Completely disagree with that one. So, with this Cancelo again, I don't have any problem with Cancelo joins Barcelona, but when he canceled the contract, that's where I realized. So, I'm not surprised with this rumor. We need to correct our financial books this season. I don't think Al Nassr, the only thing which Al Nassr this season, they must really focus on those financial books. Because you win the AFC Champions League A lead, you qualify for the Club World Cup, you will really need signings. Really, really need signings. You will need signings. So we have covered a lot of stories. Remember the one of Rashford? We said no, there's no way Rashford is coming to Al Nassr. Even if Fabrizio said Rashford, he doesn't want to go to Al Nassr, he wants the big team. I said no. Al Nassr, there's no way Rashford is going to Al Nassr because we are not going to allow Kingsley to leave, not Joao, not Money. Therefore, we can't sign him. And they said now Cristiano created a new rule for himself to negotiate directly with Bruno Fernandes. I said it's not true. It can't be Bruno. It must be a midfielder and defensive midfielder. So if he's Bruno, it's not true. And all of those stories, I mean, it happens that they were all false and we were telling the truth that there's no way. Even now, if they can wake up and say someone is going to Al-Nassr, I will come here and say, no, it's not true. It must be under 20, under 21, or under 23, maybe, under 21. He must be a young player, or he must be a Saudi national. We are full. 8 foreign players done. It's closed, that one. We don't have to expect any signings. Sorry, from Europe if that person is senior, is over 22. Must never. Actually, over 21. So anyone who wants players now, they must think of us signing the Saudi Arabian players. And I said it in 2024 because I realized 2023, 2025, because we were still understanding how this thing is working in Saudi and how this thing. And I realized immediately in 2024, 2025 that, okay, meaning if you want to participate, you want to compete in Saudi, you need to sign best players, but those players are from Saudi, born from Saudi. Born in Saudi, you need to sign those players. That is why immediately when Alila Jame, he left, I was not happy, but I was happy when then we introduced Jorge Jesus. I realized that this guy went there and developed a lot of players in Al Hilal and then at Al Hilal. And this is what exactly he's going to do here at Al Nassr. And immediately he bought all these players and they are well developed. I mean, what he did with Abdullah Al Amri, wonders. Yaya, wonders. Bushal, wonders. So the best players now of Saudi in our exposure, what we have to do is to continue with the structure. We don't have to focus only in that. We have no choice but to get the players of Saudi to be there. I'll be happy if they can say they are signing a left wing, a right wing, a left wing actually of Saudi, and Al Nassr signing the right back from Saudi and an original midfielder from Saudi. I'll be happy. I'll be happy. That is why when Naif Masood went to Al Ahly from Al Fatah, I I said that's the problem. If really we were looking for him, unless we are not looking for him, these are kind of the deals we must close. Have our players, um, because the only way to compete, that's the only way to compete. Of course, I expect they will try this thing next season. Maybe they will say we add 2 foreign players. It's gonna be 10. I don't want it to be the high number. No, 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 no. It must be, for me, even if 12, I think it's gonna be enough for me, 12. But of course, if you buy sometimes you understand the ideas behind this 8 foreign players, and day one Cristiano supported this and he supported this the day two. He's supporting this thing of 8 foreign players, and you can understand it. You are getting a coach from Europe to come and coach your team in Saudi, and then when you look at the local players, he realizes he thinks they are not good enough. You know what he's going to do? He's going to put the best 11. Unless you say you can have 12 foreign players, but you are allowed to feature at least 8 or 9 at the same time in the pitch. So that thing will force about 3 players always be there of Saudi. Maybe if they can say that. For now. I think we're going to leave here. What? Al Nassr legend attacks Al Hilal over spend on foreigners and okay. Yeah, I don't agree with him at taking. I mean, who cares? Fad Al Harifi. I don't know. I don't know if yeah, you can. I mean, blaming Al Hilal for this thing. I thought it was a wrong decision. I don't know who took those decisions at Al Hilal. I said it in the previous videos that these decisions which they are taking of getting players, foreign players, a lot of them, which they are not going to use, and you end up canceling these contracts, putting them out of your lineup, and all of the sort of a lot of drama. I don't know. And but when you look here, look at this. One of media, it's gold.com. They said, where is that? It moves away here. I will try to. I don't want to leave this thing. Let me just like they were saying the king of discipline, and they said Al Hilal, and then they put on the other side they said Al Nassr, Al Ittihad, and Al Ahly. I said what? I mean, if this thing, what we are doing had been done by Al Hilal, I think everyone will applaud us. I mean, we don't buy players which we are not going to use. We are, I mean, we are keeping the decorum. We are making sure that when we buy a player, is either going to play or is we don't buy a player. We knew from day one we need a defensive midfielder. We went out there and get a defensive. I mean, we got what we wanted. We wanted Samu Costa, the defensive midfielder. We did the same thing. But when you look, it's easy. We can be linked to any player and then we can go and get that player. But I said we are not moving Joe, we are not moving Kingsley, we are not moving Cristiano, we are not moving Mane, and we are not moving Mohamed Simakan, and we are not moving Iniko. So we are not going to do that. And exactly what we did. And we move John Duran because we knew we are not going to use him. But I mean, come on. I said Al Hilal is looking for, I mean, as I was counting until this Everton player, I think, decline and resist to go to Al Hilal. And I think the problem, I think this player easily is going to Al Hilal, but I think he looks at this thing. Nunes went there. He's not going to play because not because he's not playing well or what, because the number of players. They still have a problem of Cancelo, still have a problem of this and this. And he realized, I'm not going to go there. He realized it. But then I was counting somewhere and I said, I think 12 foreign players, 12. And I said they need to move four. Four. So I understand this man when he says, when he is blaming someone. I don't know who exactly is blaming, but he's blaming someone. For me, who cares? But I'm just saying we need to keep the decorum. We need to be the team Al-Nassr which keeps the decorum, because if we're going to be like this, and I said it in one video, that we need to not to sign anyone which you are not going to use, because it's gonna be a problem. That is why I'm thinking on this Angel, that if Angel is a senior player now, is not young, then you have a problem, because you can't keep a player who's not going to play. But with Angelo, we're going to be able to register. We registered him last season, so if we're going to keep, we're going to register, we'll be fine. We've registered Angelo, we've registered some Costa, we're fine. So they're going to be part of the team for the current season going forward until the end in May. I think Al Hilal are looking for Petroneto. Maybe they're going to get him. They've moved Malcolm, I think so. I'm still waiting for the official statement. If he's not there, of course. And then Darwin Nunes. I can tell you, I'm happy with only one player here. If Nunes goes to Al Ittihad, I'll be happy, because I didn't want Nunes to leave the Saudi. I think it's, for me, this will be regarded as a bad business if by any chance this guy will or left Saudi so soon. Hmm. Is it true? Is it true that the Al Hilal contains 17 foreign players? I think I don't think so. Can he back this statement? Yes. Ooh. Can it? Can we stand here and say it's true? He cited the outgoings of Neymar, Leonardo, and Cancelo, and then Al Hilal, they have 17 foreign players. Come on, I don't agree. I don't think so. But but you can say one, two, three, yes, four, five, yes, six, seven, eight, nine, 10, 11, Pablo, 12, Mateo, 13. Ooh, ooh, 17. Okay, it's 17. Okay. Guys, that's it for a day, guys. That's it for a day. Um, Oh, let me see if any. It's three. It's really 17 guys. You think 17 players? Al Hilal. Of course, I wouldn't agree with some of the things which I think I will agree with him, but I don't care. But I think I will agree with him. Uh, I think someone there, I think he was not. They were supposed to sign Cancelo if they wanted him. Of course, they were supposed to sign Neymar. I think the move of Neymar. I love that move of Neymar. I love that move of Neymar. The one which I was so keen on it and I was so happy for Al Hilal is the signing of Darwin Nunes again. I was happy with that signing. Um, but then a lot of players which you are allowed only to sign eight. I will agree with this guy um, to say it's a wrong decision. Someone is taking decisions which are not suitable for. He says it's a waste of finance. I don't care. As long as Al Nassr is doing this, I'm saying Al Nassr, they must be. They said the gentlemen, of course. They said the gentlemen. Gold.com, they said they gentlemen, and they put the others at the side. I said, if we are the gentlemen, I mean, we signed a CDM, we kept everything. I mean, we kept the decorum. We are not signing anyone we don't want, we don't need. Even if we want that player, we have to understand that it's only eight. You can't do anything. That is why there's a question in one video. I'm saying the financial restriction. I'm asking if this the financial restriction really the financial burden which they are talking about. Can they prove this thing? If anyone, because the PIF says a different story. The Al Nassr says a different story. I'm saying, can they prove that we have the financial, or the media wants to put as if, because we are supposed to sign only one player. One. You can't say the foreign player. We are supposed to sign one. We sign that player. And then you can say, of course, because we spoke about the financial efficiency certificate. After we received that, we started to continue, and then we continue, and then we do business there and there to move other players, especially the important player was John Duran. The other important one was Wesley. I said we need to move Verona Kamara. We moved him out. And then we are now left with re-signing Akharib and do this, which I believe we're going to do. That's it. I will leave that. Tomorrow we need to move. We need to win and go all the way. And hey, last season we won Jeddah FC. After winning against Jeddah FC, the next game Al Ittihad. So they need to. I mean, a season before, I think it was Al Tawun there. I mean, I think we lost on round of 16 again last season. I think round of 16. This time we need to. This round of 16 can't be a burden to us. We don't have to care about the fixtures and all of this thing. We need to go on, soldier on, and try to win, because you can't change anything. Away games in three. Lucky enough, this away games, 3 away games, 2 will be at Al-Awwal Park and 1 will be out um, at Al-Ettifaq. So I don't think we must complain a lot. Of course, these two, I expect, the expectation is that this school is fine, even if they were not going to be held inside Al-Awwal Park. This one of Al-Riyadh, um, you expect Al-Riyadh not to be a problem. Of course, they visited us last season. It must be for the first round of this, first round of the season. They must come to. We must visit them, and then this one, of course, the round of 32. Of course, we are the bigger team. We must visit them. My problem is the opponent. The opponent was never supposed to be this opponent. It was supposed to be the other one. From the first division, but it's fine. I think it's not a disadvantage to us more than it's the disadvantage to this team, to Al Daria, because the Al Daria was supposed to play against Al Wada or something, maybe Jeddah FC, so that they can, Al Khulud played against these teams, and then the time they played against Al Ittihad, and they went to the final. So give them the opportunity to play against those teams, and so that they can qualify to the round of 16, and then maybe they can qualify to the round of 8. Maybe they can be kicked out of there. So I don't think it's a disadvantage to us. I think it's a disadvantage to Al Daria, and then but all in all, I think it is gonna be fine. I think we're just going to be at Al-Awwal Park, win this game, go against Al Riyadh, win the game, and then the next game is going to be Al Ettifaq, which I believe again is going to. I think 2 weak teams played against each other. One of the weak team is Al Ettifaq, one against the weaker team, which is Al Riyadh, and I think we're going to play them in such a short period of time, which it must be an easy win for us as Al-Nassr Al-Ettifaq. This time we can do that. We can just win against them. Let's manage that. But all in all, I think we have moved these stories out. One, Al Riyadh, and I'm closing here. Al Riyadh, Al-Nassr, they will play at Al-Awwal Park. The agreement between the management of Al Riyadh and the management of Al-Nassr, that deal done. Another thing is Angelo. Borussia Dortmund is looking for Angelo. Let's see if really that story is going to happen. Done. The last story, another one. Al Qadsiya is looking for a big deal, and it's gonna be the deal of the century. Who's going to be that deal, man? I don't believe in it. That one, let's leave it alone, man. It's not going to happen. And then I think we've moved everything out. Those ones of Al Hilal is not our stories. We're just keeping these ones. And then with all, thank you for everyone who's been watching in. Thank you for tuning in, and you're a legend. See you on the next one. Bye.